I think the educational system today has a bit of a problem. People's anxiety is a little bit higher than it was a few years ago. And when you are able to overcome these fears and pains, you suddenly become very comfortable,
Yeah.
Your self-confidence increases.
A lot.
You don't have to say anything, but you feel the connection with
A
the
lot.
people. Yeah.
It's like everyone in this space in the same frequency, in the same vibe, in the same bubble.
I saw my granddad, who died 15 years ago.
Where did you get this idea of putting people in the ice? Why
you want to come out now? And she says, no. And she smiles. I said, are you okay? She said, I feel my anxiety melting.
Wow.
And her eye starts tearing. The ice increases your dopamine level to like 250%, which there is only one drug who can manage to bring it up to that same level, is cocaine.
Body, and how the body can shift the mechanism from burning calories to burning fat thanks to the fast. That was when you pass away. And you will leave to your kids 2 books. One is the Benoit, why the ice bath is changing people's lives these days. How come?
Well, it's August, is hot, So it changes the temperature in the body. No, ice bath has so many advantages and consequences in your body and in your mind. And most of the people actually come for the physical part of the ice bath. People say, I don't think I can do that and all that. But they realize very quickly that the mind is what changes when you go in the ice. I mean, you've done it.
Yeah.
You know that it's not cold, right?
It's in the beginning it's quite cold, but afterwards it's magic actually what's happened. And before I talk about my experience, tell me about the steps or the preparation that you prepare the people before you take them into the ice. This breathing ritual that you are doing, why it's really important to the body before jumping into the ice.
Okay. Well, what we are doing is we're basically helping the people to have a nice experience of something they are fearful of. Okay. So I think today in general, people's anxiety is a little bit higher than it was a few years ago. I think COVID hasn't really helped for that. So anxiety is there and fear is there. And to help people to go through that experience, the first thing we do is to get some trust from the people. Okay, so it sounds like we're doing a lot of things or nothing, but we actually prepare the people without them noticing to connect with them by explaining the advantages of breathing, what breathing can do. We put just the hands in the ice and tell them this is very painful. We tell them what is going to happen, and then it happens. And then we tell them that if you can put your hands for 1 minute, that means you will probably be able to put the full body for 5 minutes. And it makes no sense to them. And we tell them, and then sometimes we have people who have done it before, and they say, no, it's true. It's the hand is the only place which is painful when you put in the cold. And then we put people sometimes on sadu boards, which is the nail board, which is another very painful experience.
Yeah.
And so we explain them, that if you can do that 10 seconds for the first time, it's amazing, and then we help them to stay 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and they see progression in pain, basically, or accepting the pain. And when you are able to overcome these fears and pains, you suddenly become very comfortable, your self-confidence increases and your mindset changes. And then as a it's not really a preparation. You can go in the ice if you want without preparation. But very often the people are quite nervous when they do it the first time. So the breathing is part of that experience we do. So we do this Wim Hof breathing method, which is an old Tibetan way of breathing and holding your breath in between, which changes a lot of things in your body and in your mind. So it makes you powerful because it releases adrenaline, but it also calms you down through the fact that your blood becomes alkaline and you don't really need to breathe anymore. So it's a breathing exercise which takes 15 to 25 minutes, depending on how many rounds we do. And then after that, the people are typically calm, relaxed, de-stressed. And they forgot that they came for the ice bath, so that's a good start. And then we wake them up, get them back to reality. And then people go in the ice, and in general, with very few exceptions, people go in the ice and they do like 3, 4, 5 breaths the way we tell them. And they smile and we take pictures. And
I remember my smiling in the ice. But I remember the first time when I came to see you and to experiment this journey, you asked me the first question: how do you breathe?
Yeah.
No one before asked me this question, and I didn't realize why he is asking me this question. And you were explaining to me that there is 2 types of breathing. Can you tell me more about this now?
Well, actually, there are like 30, 40 different types of breathing. I mean, you basically can breathe through your mouth or through your nose. And then you have 2 nostrils. And there are some yoga exercises where you breathe from one nostril and exhale from the other, and then vice versa, which do different things in your body. But going back to breathing, when you are stressed, when your shoulders are tight, people say, "Oh, I'm stressed," and then you touch them and this is so hard, and ow, when you squeeze them, and the thing is they breathe wrongly.
Okay.
All right. So the breathing, the inhale, you basically can breathe from 2 different parts. It's mainly from your belly, so the diaphragm, or from your chest. And when we are born, we only breathe from the belly.
That's true.
All right. So if you have a little baby and you're not sure it's still alive, and because nothing's moving, and you don't feel the breath through the nose or the mouth or whatever, but you see the belly going up and down.
Wow.
And you look at the animals, they all breathe from the belly.
This is super powerful.
So you should breathe through the belly, and you should breathe through the nose. That's the good breathing. Now, what happens today, people do shallow breathing through the chest, and we do between 21 to 25,000 breaths a day.
20 to 25,000.
Yeah. People breathe, if they are anxious and if they do shallow breathing, they do up to 16, 18 breaths a minute.
Wow.
Monks in Nepal, they exercise to do 4 breaths per minute. Okay, it's a 15-second inhale and exhale, which we all can do, but you need to do it consciously. Unconsciously, we breathe between 8 and 12. The less you do, the better. Okay. So if you do, let's say, you sleep 1/3, so maybe that is okay, but the other 2/3, if you are stressed, you do about 16,000 breaths where your shoulders move. So, okay, and that's where the stress comes from. Right? Makes sense?
Sure. Yeah, a lot.
So imagine any movement you do 5, 10, 15,000 times in a day. I mean, I don't know how many push-ups you can do, but if I do more than 50, I feel it the next day.
Okay.
Right? So doing 10,000 times a little movement, which is not necessary, that's what creates here the stress in your shoulders. So what we explain to the people and teach them is proper breathing. And by doing the proper breathing, everything changes already. Like in 20 minutes doing proper breathing, you feel like different.
Wow. Tell me about a magic story that happened to one of your clients where while you were doing this breathing, someone who feels something, some relief from something. Because I have my own story that I'm gonna share with you, but I want to hear from your own experience. If was some magic experience after the breathing preparation or session with the people that came to you.
Oh, we have so many, but we have people who are very stressed and they do the breathing and they fall asleep. Okay. We have people who get emotional because it goes deep into your subconscious, and after the breathing session we play some relaxing music and people start crying, so they have emotional release. We have people who see things in closed eyes. I saw my granddad, who died 15 years ago. So it's breathing makes you do in your subconscious, reveals a lot of stuff which can be quite emotional, but it's emotional release. The people feel amazing after that.
Yeah, it is true. My experience with this breathing ritual, let's say, actually it was really so deep and super powerful. I went from a state to another state to another state. I feel them. I still remind them right now, right? From being emotional, kind of crying, to smiling, to have a full of joy when I finished the breathing session. And at the end, I wanted just to hug everyone around me.
Oh, this is like, I love that when
crazy.
You say that. I think,
Yeah.
I'm a big hugger. I like to hug everyone. And after the breathing, to hug and to exchange that energy and have the oxytocin, which is a happy hormone.
Yes.
When you hug people, this is so beautiful. When you hug someone for 20-25 seconds, the heartbeat starts to synchronize with the other person. So most of the people hug right to right, but you should do left to left, so the heart is closer to each other.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then if you breathe together, the synchronization of the heart will happen quicker.
This is super powerful. I never thought about the hug from the left side, heart to heart.
Yeah.
Usually I hug like this.
It's a natural baby. I was born like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not born. I was educated like that. That's the way you hug. But if you do it on the other way, which feels a little bit strange when you do it for the first time, and then you hug the person, it's really nice.
That's really amazing.
Maybe my favorite time. Moment.
Is the breathing.
The hugging after.
The hugging after the hugging part.
It's amazing.
I loved it. It.
And you really connect with people
a lot.
You don't have to say anything.
No.
But you feel the connection with the people. Yeah.
It's like everyone in this space in the same frequency, in the same vibe, in the same bubble. Oh, just crazy.
That's also why if you do the breathing by yourself or just with one person, it's completely different than if you do it with 6, 7, 12 people.
Yeah, that's true.
The energy of that is quite amazing. So it's nice to do it in a group.
Yeah, I experimented doing alone when I had COVID. It helped me a lot, by the way, when I had COVID. Because I couldn't even breathe for like 5 to 6 hours. The oxygen was in, but the feeling is that I was out of oxygen. Then I calmed down myself. And I did exactly, this 25-minute video for the WIM. I did it slowly, and this kind of reset my nervous system because I was nervous, just scared of not having enough oxygen.
Yeah.
So it regulates somehow the breathing cycle in my body. It helped me a lot during COVID. That's
And
something.
it makes your blood alkaline,
Yes.
which helps you on the health
Yeah.
on the health side. It kills bacteria and it makes you really strong. So I luckily I've started this breathing 4 years ago, and I put a lot of people in the ice during the COVID. I think you were one of them, and I never got it. And I mean, touch wood, maybe I was lucky, but I had like 7 or 8 people who called me next day. And they said, listen, you need to go and test because I just tested positive and you were breathing in front of me yesterday when I put the people in the bucket. You know,
Yes.
it's like 40 centimeters breathing into my face. But I was fine.
Okay. It's really, we can go deeper, but
Yeah.
I prefer to move now to the cold part, which is the ice.
Okay.
Where did you get this idea of putting people in the ice? Why you are torturing people in the ice?
You know, I mean, and maybe we can talk about other experiences I am doing and things you know, but I like to have a challenge every year. And in 19, I decided to see how much hot and how much cold I can take. Yeah. So the hot was pretty easy in Dubai. I said I'm gonna run in the desert once a week for 1 hour.
Wow.
Okay, starting in January, and then building up slowly. So the idea was not to go and run in August, but to build up from January, February, March. And every week I went, it was just 1 or 2 degrees more. So you adapt.
Okay.
Right? That was my idea.
Okay.
That was my idea. And then on the cold side, I Googled and, ice therapy, etc. Wim Hof thing came out.
Yeah.
So I did the Wim Hof online course. And then I booked for March to go to Poland with Wim Hof. And that was cancelled because of COVID. But then I bought a bucket and I started to do ice baths on my own. I was so scared. I put my hands, like they say, how can you train to go in the ice? What can you do? And they said, put your hands in the ice. And putting the hands in the ice is the worst thing.
Yeah.
And I said, if I find it so hard to put my hands, how will I do my full body? And nobody explained that to me. Nobody talked to me about that. So I put my hands about 40 times.
40 times?
40 times before I went on the 31st of January 2020 with a Wim Hof instructor in the ice.
Wow.
And I went into the ice and I was just waiting for that pain I had for my hands for 40 times and nothing happened. I was totally calm and the guy said, okay, you can come out now. I was kind of disappointed.
Okay. Why didn't suffer?
Nothing happened. I felt quite comfortable. It was January, but it was nice, warm, like those nice Dubai January during the day. And then I bought a bucket and then I started to do it in my backyard, in my garden.
Amazing. What are the benefits of the ice bath? Because I have a lot of feedback from people. They don't know what is the benefit of the ice bath on the body, on the mind, and on the soul also.
Yeah.
Right. So let's start with the body part.
Yeah, the body part is, I think it's quite known by the people. We have Djokovic, who started that 15 years ago as a tennis player to recover, because when you are on a Grand Slam and you play like 4 or 5 hours at the highest level of tennis, and 24, 48 hours later, you have another potential match. Your body needs to recover. He started with the ice. I think he started with the ice bath in the tennis, but the rugby players started before that. And now the NBA players in the US, it's typically when your body takes a lot, golf players don't need to go into ice baths, but like rugby player who get hit, NBA players, I think they play competition twice a week, I think. So they need to recover quick. So that's known. Cold ice helps your body to recover. It's scientifically proven. It's used. People do it. Okay. So that's on the pure recovery base. Now, what they found out with the biohackers, they checked what can you do to recover. Like, for example, you want to build up your muscle mass, and you go to the gym and you really put a lot of effort in building your muscle mass, if you go in the ice after that, it's counterproductive because the growth of your muscle will stop. Okay, those are new developments of research which have shown. So if you want to build muscle mass, you have to wait 4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours before to jump into the ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you do cardio, you do 100K on a bicycle, and you want to recover because tomorrow you want to do another 100K, that's fine because you're not building muscles. You just want to recover from the cardio you've done. So there's much more details available now than when I started 3 years ago.
Talking about calories, how many calories we can burn in 10 minutes in the ice bath?
There is not much research about that, but the little we found is around 500 calories in 10 minutes for an average person.
Yeah.
So the average person typically is a 80 kilo male. So if the person is 140 kilo, probably he burns more, and if you are smaller, probably a little bit less.
So the body he is trying to compensate the temperature difference.
It's only the temperature,
exactly.
It's not your physical activity. I mean, well, it is a physical activity, but it's temperature. It's the temperature you try to overcome. So that's on the on the physical side. What is happening on the mental side. It is basically that discomfort you get where your flight-fight mechanism from your reptilian brain kicks in, and some people tell me, I thought I was dying.
Wow.
And you find comments on people, this is the hardest things I've ever done in my life. It lasts 20 seconds, 30 seconds. When you try to fight it, it can last a little bit longer. Typically men, which the reptilian brain is more developed. Women are much better to go in the ice bath.
Yeah, they endure the pain by.
Well, they are calm. They take the pain, but they think more, while the man reacts more. So the reacting brain is not the one you want to be functioning during that 20 seconds. You want the cortex to take over from the reptilian brain, and women are much better in doing that. If you have 10 people at the traffic light, 5 men, 5 women, and you start honking, I bet you the men will react first.
Wow, this is I thought the women will support more pain because they built for the delivery when they are pregnant, when they deliver. Their mechanisms are more stronger than man. This is what was my thought. But
well, look, I'm not a doctor and I'm not doing research on that, but I think the sadhu board, the nail board, is a very painful experience.
Yes. And
men can tolerate that as much as women. I don't think there is a difference there. We've probably, on the nail board, we've probably put about 2,000 people. On the ice, about 5,000 different people, but I think it's the reptilian brain difference. But maybe they can endure more pain. That's why they give birth to kids, I guess.
Benoit, people with anxiety, with depression, when they went through the experience of the ice bath, how they feel afterwards?
It's a very good question, and I think that's most. If I have to, the 5,000 people we've put in the ice, and I had to categorize why they come for as an experience, or to have an Instagram picture, or for health reason, or for lifestyle, or to see what it does to them. The biggest category of all that is people with anxiety.
Wow.
By far. I think the next group is like a fraction of that. And within that group, you have different level of anxiety. You have people who suffer from anxiety to a level they have anxiety attacks, which is hard to breathe at some point, and it becomes like some people need to go to the hospital, call the ambulance, that level.
Wow.
And you have people who have anxiety, which goes more into the depression side. So they're scared of anything, you know, like no anxiety attacks, but really down.
Mm-hmm.
In both cases, when you are able to do something like that, you have a few things which happen. Your dopamine level goes through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And those people, they feel for the first time since a long time empowered.
Wow.
All right. So they say, wow, you know, I didn't think I can do that, but I can now. And they smile and they come like from this depressive anxiety stage. You get them out of the ice and they shout, they yell, they're just happy.
It's powerful.
Okay. So within 2 or 3 minutes, we have people where I'm a life coach, so I since 12 years and an NLP coach, and I see anxiety in people, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes, and ask, do you suffer from anxiety? And, yeah, big time. I said, on a level of 0 to 10, how much? Right now, she said 8.
Wow. And
then I said, you know, for you to go in the ice, you would see what it does to you, but the anxiety will go. And that's a great motivator for people to go, you know, and to go through the pain and through that stressful moment. If you have a goal to do something and to realize and to change something in your life, I had that girl, 8, 9, and she goes in the ice and she kind of, not panic, but I see like, it's really, really tough for her, you know, and I help her, I look her in the eyes, I breathe with her, I hold her hand. I said, listen, you're almost there. It's going to thing. And you know, I want the people to reach the 2 minutes where they feel comfortable. And she reached that like after a minute, she feels comfortable. And I said, you know, first time people do that and have such a level of anxiety. I say, after 3 minutes, I said, you know, you want to come out now? And she says, no. And she smiles. I said, are you okay? She said, I feel my anxiety melting.
Wow. Wow.
You know? And her eye starts tearing. So she's joyful, but a lot of emotions come out at the same time.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was healing somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she gets out after 4 minutes, and she's changed. Just in 4 minutes, she's changed. And then, you know, we serve some breakfast or whatever, or my Swiss muesli, my famous Swiss muesli, and coffee and tea and all that. And then I said, you know, you're going to go back? He said, oh, yeah. And she went back for another 4 minutes. And when she left, I asked her, your anxiety level, where is it now? She said, between 1 and 2.
Oh, my God.
I mean... yeah, this is power. I mean, I just help the people, but to get that feedback, the person comes in at 8 and goes to below 2. And they did it by themselves. We just help, you know, we hold, in that case, I was holding her hand. So we do hand holding. But how much medication, how much psychotherapy, how much things you need to do?
It's a lot.
A lot to go from 8 to 2, and they reach that in half an hour by doing through sessions in the ice of 3-4 minutes.
This is really powerful.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't have anxiety when I came to the journey of the ice bath, but I was somehow in a dark place. So I had 2 outcomes from the session. The first one is after the breathing session, right? When I was feeling relieved, I want to hug everyone. I had a lot of love to give. That was crazy.
And to receive.
And to receive also, because you're open to this. And the experience post-ice bath, I felt a strength like there is no tomorrow. I was ready to fight. I felt really super powerful. So what is the secrets of what they call the cold shock protein into the body? I heard about this.
Yeah, that's something new they found out.
Yeah.
You know, because initially everybody thought that the ice increases your dopamine level to like 250%, which there is only one drug who can manage to bring it up to that same level, is cocaine.
Oof.
So it's pretty strong, right?
Okay.
Right. So and you do that within yourself without any substance. Cocaine lasts, if you take a lot, apparently half an hour to an hour. If you do it less, maybe an hour and a half. But the dopamine you create yourself lasts for like 4 to 8 hours.
So it
Typically
lasts for
6.
4 to 8 hours.
Yeah, it goes down.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you don't have that quick up and then crash after an hour.
Yeah.
Right? So it smooths out. All right. But during those 6 hours, you can do a hell of a lot.
Of course.
You have a lot of energy to do a lot of things.
Crazy.
And so, but they also find out that you have these protein which apparently happen into you, this shock, and that makes you very strong. So, and anything you do which takes you out of your comfort zone, and you come back to the same comfort zone, but with some experience and something change in your body, that makes you strong.
Yeah, I didn't went really down the road to understand this new research, but what I read is this session of ice bath for 10 minutes can compensate a couple of gym sessions, and it can keep the muscles in the same volume, the same capacity, in the same strength, only for one session for ice bath. Compensate 4 or 5 sessions.
I've read something about it, and I do ice baths quite a lot, but I think it's good to go to the gym as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't bet on that.
No, I go to the gym 6 times a week. I'm not trying to cheat. Okay, so now we will jump from the ice bath and the breathing to the fasting.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me more about the fasting and the benefit on the body. I know because I do fast Ramadan. I do it for some religion, right? But I never went down to the scientific part of the benefit of the fasting on the body and how the body can shift the mechanism from burning calories to burning fat thanks to the fast. That was impressive for me. That was a light bubble to me. Can you tell me more about this?
Well, I came to Dubai 19 years ago, and the first time I saw fasting was here.
Okay.
All right. I mean, in Europe, very few people fast for the pre-Easter. I think they do 40 days, but it's not fasting like the Muslims do. It's you give 1 or 2 things up, like you don't smoke for 40 days or you don't eat meat for 40 days. But here it's the first time I saw fasting, and it's actually quite fascinating. And then I started to read a little bit. And 13, 14 years ago, I went to Thailand for a fasting retreat, 7 days without food.
7 days in a row?
In a row, yeah. Wow. But water, tea, and thing. And, you think, when I went there, I said, can I do that? And then the first day you're a bit hungry, the second day a bit grumpy, and then it's finished. I could have done 10, 20, 30 days. You feel like eating, but you don't need. There was a guy there, he was on his 21st day of non-eating. So that's my initial experience with fasting, and I really like it. And it's so powerful, you get clear, your body looks different, and So I also started to fast during Ramadan. Okay. I had a few employees, they were Muslims, so I said, I fast with them out of respect, and it's quite nice. Yeah. I mean, not nice to them. It's nice for me. It's because you experience new things, and you start appreciating, and then you go to iftars, and then well, maybe this is not exactly the way to do fasting, but
exactly, yeah.
But you learn, you learn by doing wrong things as well. And then about 5 years ago, I did my first dry fasting.
Mm-hmm. So dry fasting.
So dry fasting, okay. You don't eat, but also you don't drink.
Wow.
Okay. And
for how long?
I did. My goal was 48 hours, and after 44, I gave up. I had such a headache and started drinking water.
I think it's quite.
I also exaggerated. I went to the gym and I did everything. Just a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, I did 72 hours dry fasting.
Without any water, without anything.
Yeah, but I didn't go to the gym. I was most of the time indoor. I had a few sessions outdoor, but not extreme. And first day was easy. Second day was horrible. Third day was easy. And I went to the bathroom every day, a couple of times.
Wow, it's detox.
So you think, oh, you don't drink water, you're not gonna think. And I lost 6.6 kilos. And
6.6 kgs
in 3 days. So, and then people say, oh, it's water. You don't have that much water. It's impossible.
No.
So why do you lose so much? Because your body actually produces water. It's scientifically proven and researched. Your body can create between 1 and 1.5 liter of the purest water in your body out of fat.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the fat is a carbon molecule with C and H. And then with the oxygen you inhale, the H attaches and you bear water, and the C uses energy. So I was losing, and I was going on the weight with my son. We were doing charts, I was losing 100 grams per hour.
This is impressive, really.
You see physically that your fat is melting, because I lost weight around the fat part.
Of course you do. Of course.
And I stopped after 72 hours because that was my target, but I could have done longer. The second day was tough, but after that is so fasting. And I think fasting is also coming up now. A lot of people read about it. Fasting has helped people who have cancer to recover. It has helped people who have certain diseases to some parts of their body to regenerate. You create stem cells, growth hormones go, your immune system goes. What comes to my mind when people say, why you do that? I said, your mind is weak, your body is strong. The part of your body who says don't fast is your mind, but the body wants it. Your body becomes so clean, so powerful, it gets rid of all the shit in your body. And I really encourage people, Muslim and non-Muslim, to go beyond the fast during Ramadan, which is a very, very good way to clean your body.
Sure.
But go and try a 24-hour and see what it is. Is it that difficult? And then do a full day with the night before and the night after. Then you reach already 36 hours. And see what it does to your body. The clarity you become, the appreciation of things, it's a lot of things which change. And it's a very individual experience. I think it can be religious, but it's definitely spiritual.
Yes, that's true.
It's physical, it's mental. You learn so much things about your body. It's a beautiful experience.
I can rely on this because, just to comment one thing, the 6 kg that you lost in 36 hours, I lost them for 1 month during after Ramadan, right? And I can rely on the productivity part during the fasting. For example, we fast from the sunrise to the sunset, right? So from the morning till 3 to 4 p.m., I have such clarity during the day. I'm focused on my tasks. I'm zen. I'm clean my mind. I feel my body is really very light comparing to when I'm eating breakfast, lunch, whatever. So the thing is, how come the body can switch during the long period of fasting from burning calories to burning the fat? And when according to your experience, this switch can turn from burning calories to burning fat?
So the easiest calories to burn are glycose, okay? And so you eat some bread or pasta, and the body will burn that right away. The liver can keep a certain amount of those calories, but if it's more than what they can keep, they transform it into fat. So this is how you function on an hourly basis. When there is no carbs left, the insulin should go down, and you're hungry, and he wants give me carb, okay? You don't give carb, you're hungry, and then the liver starts to take the reserves from the fat and use that, which is a much better calorie, but it takes some effort and some exercises to do that. You need to use, the body needs to exercise that. If you eat every time you're hungry, that thing is almost closed. It's a door which you close over time. You become insulin resistant, and your things starts not moving right. You become diabetes, you become fat, because the system doesn't work anymore. Okay? By fasting, prolonged fasting, you can reestablish the pancreas function, the insulin function, all these, and they start to work again.
Okay.
All right. So everybody can use the fat. There's a guy who did a new record, I think, in the US, 54 or 55 days without eating.
Wow.
Drinking under medical control, and you would think, oh, this guy, you know, he was obese. Okay, I think he lost 35 or 38 kilos, and all his charts from the medical side are so much better than when he started.
So he was losing fat, not muscles. Or
He
maybe
lost I think 38 kilos, and I think like 3 or 4 kilos of muscles.
Okay.
But if you are 35 kilos less, you need less muscles.
Of course.
Okay? But the proportion is like, it's 85% fat
It's huge.
and 10-15% muscle.
It's huge. It's really interesting. People with heart problem, with diabetes, do you advise them to go to the ice bath?
To the ice baths. We had the funniest experience. A guy had a heart attack 3 months before he came to us. Okay. He did a private session at his place. We came there, and he has total support from his wife telling him, don't do it. You will die.
Okay.
His doctor told him, don't do it. And he wanted it. He just felt like this is something he wanted to do. And he went in the ice and stayed 4 minutes, and he was smiling, and he get out of the ice, and he said, I'm living again. It just was an enlightening into thing. He did another ice bath just after that of another 4 minutes.
Oh my God,
and
this is really impressive.
But this is one case, okay? I will never take the responsibility of somebody who has heart problems or whatever, but this guy wanted to do it. A month later, he started traveling around the world. It's like 12 months, 14 months now. He hasn't come back.
Oh my God. So something kicked on his mind, on his body. He gained again power.
He nearly died.
Yeah.
And he was in the ice and said, I'm living again. So he probably wants to make up for all the time. He's worked hard. He has his own business and all that. But I think now living is more important for him than
that's really
anything else.
Amazing. Talking about the business.
Diabetes it's good because it burns fat. It helps your bloodstream to get better. It has so many health benefits on the physical side. So I would recommend it.
Okay.
Nothing can happen if you have diabetes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So talking about business, take me back to the moment in your life, Benoit, when you had this wake-up call or the calling or the epiphany that you need to change your career path and to go down to this changing people's life through ice bath, breathing, fasting, and all that stuff?
I'll probably be disappointing on that point.
No.
I didn't have that epiphany.
Okay.
What I did coaching certification 12, 13 years ago, and I like to help people.
Okay.
I had a headhunting executive search business in the banking area. So I was helping people to find a better career, a better job, a higher paid job. But this came really out of coincidence, and I was almost pushed into it. But
what do you mean by push to it?
Well, I closed my business during COVID, and then I didn't know what to do. And then this thing happened. And in 3 years, we went from just doing ice baths to doing breathing, ice baths to doing breathing, sadhu board, ice baths, and then doing retreats. I think I'm the only one who did fasting retreats in the UAE. First one was six days without eating. Then I did a few 4 days without eating. We are helping people to fast today. I just became a firewalk instructor. So,
that's interesting.
We like, and I say we because now we are a team of 5 people. We take people out of their comfort zone at different levels for them to grow, to become fearless, to become self-confident, to lose anxiety, to reinvigorate their life, their wanting to live, to have fun. We have created a community, and they have become friends because they've struggled with the same thing, and they are now happy. We have helped people to stop smoking, to become triathlete. We do hiking, we do breathing on the mountain, we do ice baths on the dunes in the thing, to have pleasure with fun and health and all that together. And there wasn't a moment I said I need to do that, but the more I do of it, the more it makes me happy.
I think you were prepared for it since you were supporting your colleagues, finding better career, better lives. I think the universe was somehow redirecting you to this. That's why it's come naturally.
Thank you. But I actually, on a very selfish level, I've never been so happy myself, because if you make people happy, the comments and the messages and the emails and
it's priceless, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is what I call purpose in life, basically.
Yeah.
I think you are living full purpose in life.
I'm super happy.
Amazing.
Super happy, yeah.
So last question from my side. How many sons you have?
2.
You have 2 sons. One of them is the other side. He's watching the podcast.
And he's helping me.
Yeah.
He helped me. He supported me on the 72-hour fasting. He did the first 36 hours with me. And then I was very happy that he started drinking again because he's only 15.
Amazing.
I'm not sure that it's that good for him.
Okay. So let's say after 50, 60 years from now, right? When you pass away and you will leave to your kids 2 books. One is the Purpose in Life book and one is Stuck book. Give me one message that you want to leave to your kids in 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years. What will be those 2 messages to your kids?
Wow, that's a good one. A message to my kids on which one? The first one is the
Purpose in Life, what
Purpose
you are
in
living
life.
now, yeah?
Follow your passion.
Okay.
Clearly. I was a banker for many years, and I had fun at the beginning because I learned a lot. But then with compliance, etc., it became boring. So I moved, sold my business, etc. But passion, if you're passionate about what you do, you're going to be happy, A lot of people, it's about super high education or a lot of money or power, etc. But that comes all by itself if you follow your passion. Yeah. The other one is
the stuck book. When one message that they need to learn from your stuck book.
Make lots of mistakes.
Okay.
You learn much more from mistakes than doing it right. So don't be scared of doing mistakes. I think the educational system today has a bit of a problem. You only get good grades if you do it right.
It's true.
And you get basically punishment if you do it wrong. Give the space, allow yourself to do mistakes, because you will learn much more from there than doing it right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's super powerful. One question that you can leave to my next guests. What would be a question
to your next? Ask him what his passion is.
Thank you. Okay, so much. Thank you so much, Bruno,
No,
for
thank
this
you.
amazing
Thank you.
session.
That
I
was
really
cool.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.